Part 2. How to fast. Our metabolic changes during fasting create challenges for us. I call them the 6 crises of fasting. Hydration, salt crisis, energy crisis, hunger crisis, adrenaline crisis, psychological crisis, and the detox crisis. Understanding these challenges is the key to success. First of all, dietary sugar goes down when we stop eating, and so our insulin that we produce goes down. Low insulin in the body causes kidneys to dump excess water, so you pee a lot at first. You drop pounds fast at the beginning, and that's why when you first lose weight, people tell you it's only water weight. This time, what they say happens to be true. It's always disappointing when you get the news. Insulin dropping causes us to lose water and salt, and this causes our blood pressure to drop. And so we feel dizzy and people feel faint. We treat this with water and adequate salt intake. Some people add potassium salts. Some people use magnesium supplements. Some people use multivitamin or multimineral or both. And rest is important. The energy crisis peaks on day 2 and 3. What's happening here is that glucose or sugar stores in the liver and the muscles are used up. Our body is forced to burn fat and turn it into ketones, so our body will run off ketones. But at first we don't do this very well, so day 2 and 3 people feel weak and sick until the body puts the machinery in place to burn fat into ketones. Surviving the energy crisis involves planning ahead. For the first 5 days before a fast, it is recommended that you eat low carb and preferably ketogenic with less than 20 grams of carbs a day. Some people say they get extra energy if they take ketone supplements until their body starts burning fat to make their own ketones. The hunger crisis, days 1 through 3. Hunger is high in the first 3 days, and that's because there's a hunger hormone called ghrelin, and it spikes every 3 hours, coinciding with our meals, link in the description. It's unbearable at first because we're used to feeding our hunger all the time. But over the course of the next 3 days, studies have shown that ghrelin levels drop, and therefore the hunger gets manageable after the first few days. What we learn is that hunger comes in waves. It peaks and always ebbs away. We learn to ride the waves. This will be part of the self-mastery that we get as a benefit from learning to fast. But dealing with hunger, let's talk tactics. There are several herbal teas that decrease appetite, like hoodia, peppermint, green tea, and bitter melon. Many people find that drinking black coffee or having mineral water with lemon decreases their appetite. Cinnamon, apple cider vinegar, and essential oils like peppermint, ginger, and lemon added to water or teas can help some people. Hunger, mastering the mental game. Consider that a 180-pound man of average size has 40 pounds of fat on him. That's 140,000 calories. That's enough energy to walk 1,300 miles, all the way from Miami to New York City. A woman carrying nearly 50 pounds of fat could walk from Los Angeles, California, 2,600 miles to Cleveland, without needing to stop for even so much as a chicken McNugget. When you hear these numbers, you have to know that your body has enough energy. How far can you walk? What's your Cleveland? Once you know that you don't actually need anything, you can come up with your own meditation. I have enough, I am enough, hunger passes, ride the wave, everything I need is inside me. The next stage is what I call the adrenaline crisis, days 1 through 4. Norepinephrine is related to adrenaline. As it rises, the metabolic rate goes up, and there's a link in the description to the article that describes it. As you can see, over the first 4 days, norepinephrine more than doubles. Many people get palpitations during this time. Many people feel anxious. It may also account for your increased mental acuity, but you also can feel shaky and strung out. Hormonal changes may account for these symptoms. Many people find that they feel that their body is delicately balanced while they're in a fast. Stress throws people off during this time, so it's very important to manage your stress. Drinking soothing teas like chamomile can be helpful, and also engaging in activities like massage and meditation. The psychological crisis, days 1 through 4. First of all, eating is fun, and you're going to miss it. Even if it's healthy food, when we fast, we realize just exactly how much stress we have on a day-to-day basis, and how much we use food to soothe us. Eating can act to rebalance us. Other ways to rebalance the nervous system include drinking herbal teas, stretching and yoga, meditation, breathing exercises like box breathing. The detox crisis, days 2 through 4. Some experts believe that toxins in the body make us feel sick. Many people have headache, body aches, and fatigue. Their overall symptoms get worse, and they have that "I just can't make it" feeling. The liver's normal job is to cleanse the blood and dump toxins into the gut, which then go out in the stool. These are toxins from normal body functions, but without regular stool. These toxins may accumulate inside our bodies, and some fasting experts theorize that these accumulated waste products are causing symptoms. Although there are some people that recommend dry fasting where you don't take any fluid at all, most experts recommend hydrating well to flush the kidney. There are some fasting centers that recommend that people do enemas regularly to clear the body of toxins. Others use salt purgatives or salty drinks which cause the body to dump stool. Light exercise like walking is often recommended, and luxury retreats often offer sauna treatments and water therapy. I wanted to challenge myself to a 7-day fast and find out which was better for fasting, broth or water. I tried the broth fast first. This was 6 days, and my starting weight was 164.5 pounds. I usually use celery, carrots, onions, and garlic, and my pot usually looks like this except it has chicken feet and bones in it. Another version would look like this except without the tomato. I'm beginning to think that carrots and onions should be omitted because they have higher carbs. The boil up generally looks like this. And I made a lot of fish broth. It cooks in an hour and the bones cost $2 to $3. Fresh thyme is the key to a delicious fish broth, and I use the Nourishing Broth book and the Guide to Fasting, which are excellent resources for broth recipes. I drank whenever I was hungry, about 150 to 450 calories a day. I drank a lot of mineral water with lemon, and that really killed the hunger. Some people say that lemon has too many carbs. I drank various herbal teas and black coffee. Some entertaining journal entries. Day 3 of the broth fast, 10 a.m. I'm hungry. I feel like a bad and evil person, a pig. I don't have control of these waves of hunger. I tell myself it will pass. It's ghrelin, and then it goes away. I caught a glimpse of myself in the mirror and surprised I looked thin, not bloated and sick. And the rest of the week went well. It was a breeze. Week 2, the water fast, starting weight 158.9 pounds. This week was to have nothing but water and salt. I even had this so-called snake juice, which is water with table salt and potassium salts, and this actually worked quite well for me. I did end up having some bouillon before my evening commute as I drive a long distance and I didn't want to feel weak. This may have been a mistake because it does contain a little bit of carbs, and I do feel it made me a little bit shaky afterwards. DEXA body scan results. Fat loss was a tie. Fat loss, broth, 2.4 pounds, water, 2.6 pounds. The scale weight with the broth was up 0.5 pound and down 2.3 pounds with the water. Expect to lose a half a pound of fat a day, according to Dr. Fung. For me, I was ranging between 0.37 and 0.4 pounds a day, which is within margin of error. But broth fasting is much easier. I had much more energy, and I was probably more active. We don't know if it confers all the same benefits. Megan Ramos and Dr. Fung now recommend bone broths for their extended fasts. The more you fast, the easier it is. Is fasting right for you? Fasting may not be right for you, especially if you are sick or taking multiple medicines, if you are underweight or have an eating disorder, contraindicated if you are pregnant. I know you don't want to hear this, but I think everyone should consult their physician. And if your physician doesn't know anything about fasting, refer your doctor to the IDM program of Megan Ramos and Dr. Fung. It was a patient's great results with the IDM program that inspired me to try it and finally recommend it to others. I've lost nearly 100 pounds. I can't help but feel that with all this tremendous burden of chronic disease we have, that we doctors certainly don't have all the answers, and we learn so much if we are open to patient experience. If you can't find the support that you need, there are many fasting clinics worldwide. There are many fasting retreats as well. Thank you and congratulations to all the YouTube fasters. Thank you for inspiring us with your successes and your struggles. Patients are really leading this movement. Here's a YouTuber that called himself the Fasting Fat Man. He underwent a 5-month supervised fast. He started weighing over 500 pounds. He ended his 150-day fast with a weigh-in showing that he'd lost over 200 pounds. Along the way, he shared his wins and his insights.
One time, it's not about the mile markers, it's about the destination. Just keep heading towards the destination. Don't worry about the mile markers, don't worry about other people passing you on the road. Just keep heading towards the destination.
Fasting is a time-honored tradition. The ancient Greeks fasted voluntarily for human body and spirit. We can consider it not a treatment for illness, but for wellness. To fast is to identify your dependencies and free yourself from them. Fasting is the greatest remedy, the physician within. But it's not an easy process. Enlist support. Find online support like the Intensive Dietary Management Program. Get family buy-in. Remove tempting foods. Plan ahead. Get your toolkit ready, your teas, supplements, drinks, and salts. And remember, you are enough. Fasting is a way of turning away from temptation, reaching for spirituality. It both humbles and strengthens.